So I mentioned this guy named Lou from another story. Lou was a dwarf rogue. He had the thickest fucking Boston accent. And he was a huge fan of Harmon's Quest because every 2 seconds he was spouting some fucking quote from the show. I used my rapier, which I've honed to a razor's edge. I would make a joke somewhere about beating a dead horse, but he clearly already beat that shit into the ground. So him and his party were out looking around this large room. It was a 30 by 30 foot room. There was a bunch of carvings on the stone walls and the pillars that showed this kind of tapestry. So I kind of tell him about the tapestry, and he asked me, I used my stonework knowledge to examine the stone. I say, yeah, you can see the mark of a master crafter's, mark from years and years ago. He then asked me, well, what kind of stone is it? I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know. Limestone? Shit. So he proceeds to ask me, well, what's limestone? I need to know. I'm a dwarf. I hint that it's stone, dude. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? He then says to me, but damn, I asked a question. Come on, guy. You should know. I go, okay. I'll tell you about limestone. I got the biggest shit-eating grin as I'm saying this. So, open up a Wikipedia article, and I start reading an article on limestone and stuff like that, and what time period is used, what it was used for, and stuff like that. Everybody was laughing their asses off, right? So we go to another room, and there's this marble altar, right, with these 3 bulls, right? And each one of the bulls one is yellow, one's red, one's blue. So Lou asks, what's that altar? So I no joke, I go to another Wikipedia article explaining what altars were and how ancient people used them. So after that, every time he asked me a question that was completely irrelevant to the adventure, I would resort to a robot voice, followed by a Wikipedia article. So down the line, the crew find a Wabbajack potion. If you got that reference, you're the reason why I do shit like that. So Lou, being Lou, he just straight up drinks it. See, my potion, depending on what things that you do with it, had 3 separate random tables of 100 things that would happen. So depending if you drank it, you poured it on something, you threw it. So out of all the things, when he drank it, he got turned into a random creature, which I had to go to another random table, and sure enough, holy shit, he turned into a goblin. And he was so thrilled by this that he never turned back. Even though I told him, dude, it's just temporary. It's just temporary. It'll go away in 6 hours or whatever. No, Lou passed on that idea. He's like, no, I want to be a goblin, so I can keep coding fucking Harmon's Quest, and it gives my character development. Which, fair enough on the development part. Fair enough on that. I like that. Unfortunately, though, Lou died when, during an encounter, they were fighting a kraken. If you don't know what a kraken is, what the fuck are you watching this? Why are you listening to me? Anyways, so the party was in this small lagoon. The kraken, after taking a bunch of damage, started to flee because lightning bolts suck so much when you're in water. So Lou was chasing it out of the shallow water, going towards the ocean, which is beyond fucking me. Everyone was cheering that they survived, and that's when he got grabbed and pulled into the water. He rolled a nat 1 on his strength check there, and that fucker dragged him down, okay, into the darkness that is the deep ocean abyss. His party never saw him again. Who the fuck asked what line